The deal is you're going to let me respond to it and be respectful to everybody else who's here. Are you going to agree to this deal?
Yes.
Okay, if you pledge to agree to that deal, I'm going to give you the mic and you get to ask your question for 60 seconds and I'm going to address it.
Vivek Ramaswamy has said multiple times that the climate change agenda is a hoax. But I'm from Cambodia. I have seen it destroy my country, the famines, the droughts. He thinks you're all stupid. He's lying to you. Look at each one of his facts. Look at it all. They're all funded by fossil fuel agenda. You need to understand that this man thinks you're stupid. He thinks that he can lie to you and get away with it. But he can't, because fossil fuels are destroying my future. They're destroying your future. How can you look at your children in their eyes and tell them that you are killing their future? I'm seeing it happen all across America. I'm seeing it happen here, and it's happened to my country in Cambodia.
So we do nothing here. Thank you.
Will you oppose all pipelines, regardless of type?
Let's dive into the heart of the matter of today's video. Woke climate extremists lose their minds as Vivek Ramaswamy schools them all. Alrighty then, gather round my pals. Guess what's cooking? Vivek Ramaswamy is out there, braving the wild winds of the campaign trail in Iowa. And I'm not talking a light breeze here, we're talking a full-on blizzard extravaganza. This guy is so dedicated, he's turning town halls into snow globes and the venue. Well, it's none other than your friendly neighborhood gas station. Yes, you heard that right, gas stations are the new political hotspots. Move over, coffee shops. Vivek, armed with nothing but charisma and maybe a snow shovel, passionately delivering speeches amidst the snowflakes and fuel pumps. It's like a winter wonderland meets a political circus, and Ramaswamy is the ringmaster. Can you imagine the scene? People pumping gas, sipping on hot cocoa, and suddenly finding themselves unintentional attendees of a political powwow. So, while most folks are cozying up by the fireplace, our man Vivek is out there turning Iowa's blizzards into his own personal campaign fireworks. Who needs warm gloves when you've got a burning passion for politics, right? Go get him, Ramaswamy, the snow warrior of town hall gas stations.
By the way, talking to you from a gas station in western Iowa in the middle of a blizzard where we pulled over. So just to provide some context here where we are, we kept all of our campaign events, but
that was my question.
Driving around in the blizzard.
For the orange soda.
You know, yeah, I figured wanted to address the elephant in the room there, but nonetheless, hello from the gas station.
Hey, Vivek, can you get me a 2-liter bottle of Fanta?
Thank you, Greg.
You know, I would
For
actually take the
Tyrus?
Dr. Pepper man. I always had you as a Dr. Pepper guy, but you know, we'll bring that back next time in studio.
You won't believe the sheer hustle this guy is putting into his campaign. It's like he's running on a combination of caffeine and pure determination. Now, I'm not saying he's about to become the Iowa caucus champion, but if hard work were the sole metric, he'd already have a gold medal. Vivek is in a marathon, and everyone else is just doing a light jog. Will he cross the finish line first? Probably not. Can he score a solid second or third place? Well, considering his work ethic, it's like watching a tortoise outrun hares left and right. You just can't rule it out. But here's the kicker. With great success comes great adversity. Enter the climate extremists stage left. These folks decided to crash Vivek's events, stirring up chaos like they're auditioning for a role in a comedy flick. Now Vivek, being the cool cucumber that he is, handles these disruptions with finesse. It's like watching a stand-up comedian deal with hecklers, only instead of jokes, he's schooling them on climate agendas. Now let's roll the tape on the shenanigans these climate extremists are pulling at Vivek Ramaswamy's events. Brace yourself for the first clip, where one brave disruptor gets a lesson in event crashing that she won't soon forget. It's like a sitcom, but with a political twist. You won't want to miss this.
I'm just wondering, how can you look your children in the eye while you basically deny that our future is literally on fire and our planet is burning?
Listen up, our future isn't turning into a cosmic barbecue, so don't start packing your intergalactic survival kits just yet. Whether you're in the climate change fan club or still think the Earth is as flat as a pancake, fret not, the world isn't throwing in the towel. Picture this. Even if the climate change conspiracy theorists turn out to be secret weather wizards or the deniers discover the Earth is more round than a particularly rotund hedgehog, we're not on the brink of apocalypse. Nope, not even close. In the wildest of wild scenarios, where the sun decides it's tired of being the center of attention or the oceans throw in a tsunami tantrum, guess what? Humanity, my friends, is going to do what we do best: adapt. We've weathered crazier storms than your aunt's Thanksgiving cooking experiments, and we're still here, aren't we? So relax, grab some popcorn, and enjoy the cosmic sitcom because, worst case scenario, we're starring in the adaptation show of the millennium. Cue the dramatic music, roll out the red carpet for survival, and let the earthly escapade continue.
So I'm going to give you some hard facts about this. This is an issue I've spent a lot of time on, long before I ran for president. This is near and dear to me. I was probably the leading opponent in the private sector of the ESG movement, the Environmental, Social, and Governance movement, which is basically based above all on one thing, the basis that climate change is an existential risk to humanity, and we need to stop burning fossil fuels. So let's take a minute on this one and go deeper than we usually would, because you asked it a question. 8 times as many people die of cold temperatures rather than warm ones. 8 times as many people died last year of cold temperatures rather than warm ones. The Earth is more covered with green surface area today than it was a century ago because carbon dioxide is plant food. The number of climate disaster-related deaths is down by 98% over the last century. The number of people who died of a heat wave, a tornado, a hurricane, any other natural disaster, a drought or otherwise, is down by 98%. Remember our deal. We made a deal. I gave you the mic. I'm going to answer your question.
Behold the spectacle of her response, or lack thereof, to his brilliant discourse. It's like watching a cat trying to solve a Rubik's Cube, confusing, entertaining, and ultimately unproductive. She's standing there, floundering in the sea of Vivek's wisdom, desperately grasping at the lifebuoy of the 98% climate scientist statistic. It's as if she's on autopilot, programmed to spew out left-wing talking points without bothering to engage in the delightful dance of intellectual banter. Vivek is playing the grand piano of logic and reason, and she's attempting to respond with a kazoo. Vivek, the maestro of adaptation, is harmonizing the symphony of decreasing death rates and the indispensable role of fossil fuels. He's painting a masterpiece with words, highlighting the canvas of human resilience and the crucial notes of our reliance on fossil fuels for adaptation. But oh no, our friend on the other side of the debate is too busy reading from the script of generic climate statistics to notice the artistic brilliance unfolding before her. It's like trying to discuss the nuances of a Shakespearean sonnet with someone who insists on reciting the alphabet. She's throwing out that 98% statistic like confetti at a parade, completely missing the point that Vivek is making. In this intellectual showdown, it's not a battle of wits. It's a one-sided comedy where the punchline is her inability to grasp the essence of the argument. She's there not to listen, ponder, or engage, but to serve as a mouthpiece for predetermined left-wing ideologies. It's a bit like sending a parrot to a philosophy debate, lots of noise, but not much substance. So, there you have it, a theater of the absurd where the protagonist is armed with reason, and the antagonist is armed with, well, a statistic and not much else. It's a comedy of errors, a circus of ideas, and a showcase of the perils of intellectual autopilot. Cue the laugh track.
Okay, so we had that deal. Fair enough? Because these are important facts. For every 100 people that died in 1920, 2 people died today of a climate-related disaster. So against that backdrop, do I think we need to abandon our modern way of life because of some infinitesimally small increase in global surface temperatures when more people are dying of cold temperatures than warm ones? No, I do not. When the climate disaster-related death rate has gone down by 98%, do I think we need to abandon our modern way of life, abandon fossil fuels? No, I do not. Do I think it justifies a carbon dioxide capture pipeline using eminent domain to being built across this state to seize the land of innocent farmers? No, I do not. And so the answer is this.
Pipelines, you oppose all pipelines because you don't think farmers and everyday people should be choking and our air is like not
So I'm answering your question.
So, let's talk about the air. You know, that invisible stuff we're all casually sucking in and out like it's no big deal. Well, surprise, according to someone, the air we're breathing, the very essence of life itself, is now on the naughty list. It's being declared as not just unbreathable, but also unlivable. I mean, who knew that oxygen was plotting against us all this time? And hold your laughter because apparently this whole air revelation is part of some kind of exclusive club, a cult if you will. Yes, you heard it right, a cult. It's not just a misguided opinion. It's a full-blown, air-denouncing, cult-like extravaganza. Picture people in robes, chanting about how terrible the air is, and you might get the idea. I can't help but marvel at the audacity of it all. I mean, who appointed the air critic? Was there a job posting for air quality judge that I missed? It seems like someone is taking their role as the supreme arbiter of atmosphere a bit too seriously. But wait, there's more. The individual behind this air-shaming extravaganza apparently has a grasp on everything air-related, or so they claim. Yet, the reality is, they might be a bit lost in the smog of their own conclusions. It's like they stumbled upon a thesaurus, found the word cult, and decided to sprinkle it over their argument like confetti. So, in the grand spectacle of it all, we find ourselves in a world where the air is not just something we breathe. It's a hot topic, a cultish controversy that has us questioning the very nature of our daily inhalations. It's a comedy of errors, a sitcom of air denial proportions. I can almost hear the sitcom laugh track playing in the background as someone confidently declares, "This air is unlivable." In conclusion, folks, breathe easy, or at least try to, amidst the circus of air evaluations. And always remember, when it comes to cultish air reviews, maybe it's best to take it with a grain of, well, air.
But I may not be the answer you want, but I'm giving you a hard answer to your question. Here's the truth, and in this one, I'm going to ask you to open your eyes to, because I think that you might even be on the same side of understanding the hoax here. The biggest opponents to fossil fuels in the United States are also the biggest opponent, are also perfectly fine, by the way, with shifting those same carbon emissions to places like China. Now, here's a further mystery. You would think if we're fighting global climate change, those same carbon emissions in China, how does that work? They're over there in China, but we stop them over here. Interesting how that works. Now you go one level deeper. The same people who are most opposed to fossil fuels in the United States are also the biggest opponents to nuclear energy, which is the greatest form of carbon-free energy production known to mankind.
So
This doesn't make sense. I'm not done yet.
I'm not.
Excuse me, I'm not done yet, man. We're going to be respectful. I'm going to finish this, and we're going to go to the next question. The answer is the climate change agenda has nothing to do with the climate, because if it did, these people would be embracing nuclear energy, and these people would be opposed to China doing what they are. This is about China catching up to the United States of America. And I refuse to flog ourselves wearing a hair shirt for a quasi-religious cult that has caused us to abandon our modern way of life. More people are dying of bad climate change policies than they are of climate change itself. And I will not stand for that level of insanitary moral. So, thank you for your question. I appreciate it. I want to be respectful of the audience and we'll take some other questions. Thank you. So, right there. Thank you. Thank you. You have your chance. Thank you. Would you like to have a seat?
Oh, you won't believe the saga of Vivek Ramaswamy, the maestro of whatever that is. So, picture this. He's at it again, orchestrating another one of his shindigs. The scene? A room crammed with folks eagerly waiting for something. But hold your horses, because here's where it gets spicy. Enter the climate activists, and oh boy, they've turned the decibel level up to 11. Screaming, shouting, probably doing a bit of interpretative dance to express their dissatisfaction. Why? Because, you see, facts are like kryptonite to them. They'd rather live in a bubble of opinions and wild theories. So, without prolonging this comedic spectacle any further, let's hit play on the clip and witness the grand theater of Vivek Ramaswamy's event, where the facts flow like a waterfall, and the activists scream like they've just seen a ghost.
I'm going to answer your question, and you're going to be respectful to everybody else. That's the deal we made. So let's talk about this issue of climate, because this is important. It's actually one of the most, we agree on one thing, it's one of the most important issues of our time. For different reasons, though. Because I think the bad climate policies we've adopted in this country are actually killing more people than climate change itself. No, we made it.
Not true.
Sir, we made a deal.
I've seen it with my own eyes.
Sir, you made a deal.
I've seen it with my
You made a
own
deal.
eyes.
We have breathed the smoke of the wildfires in our homes. How can you look at us in the eye?
Thank you.
Hurricanes
Thank you.
every year,
People
year
are
after
dying.
year.
You had your chance.
Sit down.
This is useful, actually, because this is what's affecting our policies across this country, is a quasi-religious conviction in a philosophy that has actually very little to do with the science. Do you all know who Steve Koonin is? Do you know? Excuse me.
Of climate science.
Sir, you made your point. You made your point. Now you're undermining
You're
yourself.
spinning lies. You're
Do you know
spinning
Steve?
lying. You're lying to everyone in this room.
Do you know who Steve Koonin is? Do you know who Steve Koonin is? That's good. Climate change. This is the climate cult.
planet is on fire. The planet is a liar. The planet is on fire. The planet is a liar. The planet is on fire.
Because, you see, these folks are operating on a knowledge deficiency level that would make a goldfish look like a Nobel laureate. They're practically the embodiment of NPC activists. No spontaneity, no flexibility, just robotic adherence to a script. Attempting to reason with them is like trying to teach calculus to a potato. It's a futile exercise in absurdity. There's no magical combination of words that'll flip the switch in their brains from autopilot to critical thinking mode. Why? Because they've been brainwashed, my friend. Someone threw their brains in the spin cycle with a hefty dose of indoctrination detergent. And this is the suds-filled result. They've slammed the door shut on any ideas that don't align with their pre-programmed worldview. Conversations? Debates? Learning? Those words are about as foreign to them as the concept of a pineapple on pizza. They've already composed an epic novel in their heads titled The End is Nigh, a tale of doom and gloom. According to their mental manuscript, the world is on fire, the air is essentially poison, and we're hurtling towards an existential crisis faster than you can say alternative facts. Throw some rationality and reasoning their way, and you might as well be reciting Shakespearean sonnets to a herd of confused squirrels. They're not interested. It's like trying to teach a cat to tap dance. Adorable in theory, but utterly fruitless in practice. This, my friend, is a circus of insanity that not even the bravest of clowns would dare enter.
Vivek is a liar. The planet is on fire. Vivek is a liar. The planet is on fire.
Thank you.
You are a liar.
All right, guys, we're done with this. You had your
You
chance.
are a liar.
You've made
The
your point.
planet is on fire.
You made your point.
You
What's
are a
that?
liar. The planet is on fire.
At this point, anybody who wants, excuse me, anybody who wants to actually have an open conversation can stay. If not, you can throw yourself out.
The planet is on fire. He thinks you're all stupid. He thinks
So
you're all stupid.
you made your point. Now, would you like to you asked a question. Would you like the answer to the question
How
or
do you
not?
look at children?
Oh, they've got this remarkable talent for dodging questions. It's like they're training for a professional question dodging league. They're not in it for the answering game. Nope, they've got bigger plans. Picture this. Their grand ambition is to drag you kicking and screaming into their exclusive club of religious cult coolness. It's not about conversation. It's about initiation into the mystical world of vague slogans and rehearsed talking points. Asking them anything deeper is like trying to teach a goldfish calculus. They're just not equipped for it. It's a wild ride of non-answers and cultish coercion, all packaged with a sprinkle of cluelessness. Buckle up, because you're in for a comically evasive journey.
Would you like an answer to the question or not? Because I think
You lie to your kids like you're lying
you
to
are
us.
proving for the
You lie to your
country
kids
the
like you're lying
point
to us.
that's
He's
actually
lying
going on
right
in this
to our
country.
face. He's lying right to our face.
Sure, you can, sir.
Stop. Listen, I'm tired. I started my travel to get here.
We're tired
At
of the
2
planet
is
burning.
I'm tired of millionaires and billionaires running this country and saying they're not doing it in their own
to this
interest.
man all the way from Puerto Rico. And I
I-
said,
I-
quiet. I didn't come to listen to you.
You know what happened in
to
Puerto
you.
Rico? You see the
I
effects
know
of
what
drugs in
happened.
Maria?
Just sit down. I came here. I'm tired.
Thank you, sir.
Fossil fuels are destroying our planet, and this man profits
Came
from
here
it.
with my wife. I just want to listen to this man. I had enough. Just sit down. You already.
He's lying to you. He's
You
lying
already
to all of us.
asked your
He's
question.
lying to all of
You're
us.
done. You're done.
Sir, you have made your point. At this point, if you don't have dialogue, we're going to ask you to leave. At this point, you've got the microphone. I will answer your question if you stop. No. There are 150 people in this room. We're not going to disrespect everybody else who came here. If you want to sit down and listen and ask a question the same way, you can stay. If not, they're going to leave.
Here.
Bye-bye.
I have the loudest.
So, Vivek, in all his glory, basically showed the door to our protagonist. Yep, he gave him the all heave-ho, and off they both went into the sunset. I'm sparing you the full playback because, let's be real, it's like watching paint dry slow and not really adding any pizzazz to the video. But hey, you guys caught that circus act, right? Now let's talk woke extremists, the folks who've taken a deep dive into the left, the Democrats, the Green New Deal, and even the AOC fan club. These characters aren't interested in your run-of-the-mill chit-chat or a friendly debate. Nope, they're on a mission to shove their woke gospel down your unsuspecting throat. If you dare question their sacred doctrine, get ready for a symphony of screams, tears, and chaos. They're like the drama queens of ideology. Picture this. You're just trying to have a civil conversation, and suddenly, bam! You're facing a tornado of ideologies that makes the Tasmanian devil look like a Zen master. It's a whole problem, folks, a big one. These peeps won't quit until we restore some order in this madhouse. Now, I'm all about free speech, but these woke warriors, they're not content with expressing themselves. Oh no, they're on a mission to shut down everyone else. It's like they're playing whack-a-mole with different opinions, and if your idea pops up, they're coming down with the hammer of chaos. But fear not, because in the midst of this ideological hurricane, Vivek stood tall, handling the situation like a maestro conducting a symphony of sanity. And that's a wrap, folks. Remember, the conversation doesn't end here, perfectionists. It continues with each like, comment, and share. Stay informed, stay engaged, and let's keep the dialogue alive. Until next time, this is American Perfectionist signing off.